Reported, the alleged comments by Frank Hester are utterly straightforward and utterly indefensible. He's supposed to have said that looking at Diane Abbott means you just want to hate all black women and that she should be shot. Well, this is about violence, it's about racism, it's about prejudice, it's about contempt for parliamentary process, and coming on the back of the deaths of Joe Cox. It's reprehensible in the extreme. And whether he wants to accept the money that has been donated or return it, Rishi Sunak should have immediately come out and condemned what Mr. Hester is alleged to have said. Instead, he took his time, because that's what Rishi Sunak does. Now, the Liberal Democrats have never returned the £2.4 million that was given to them by Michael Brown, I think it was, who fled the Dominican Republic. So I don't think the Liberal Democrats are in a position to wag their finger about this. And I also think the Labour Party is in uncomfortable water when it comes to wagging our finger. But we shouldn't be looking from one party to the other and saying, are you better? Are you better? There is an absolute standard, and the absolute standard is that we must condemn racism. And I don't think the Conservative Party is in any way divided about the Hester case. The only division is between the top of the cabinet and the main working instruments of the Conservative Party. The top of the cabinet seems to be defunct, and that doesn't surprise me greatly. So when it comes to Kevin Hollinrake, Kevin Hollinrake didn't just say that, he didn't just imply that we shouldn't be returning this money, that the Conservative Party shouldn't be returning this money. He said that he would accept more money from Frank Hester if it was offered. This is simply astonishing. Listen to what he actually said, because I didn't pick up the nuance of this when I first listened to this morning.
Well, on the basis that we don't believe Miss Hester is a racist, yes. But I've got to say, all these people I spoke to yesterday, I spoke to members of the public and postmasters and many other people, nobody mentioned this story to me in terms of the context of what we're trying to do, which is overturn convictions and pay people compensation. That's what I'm really focused on, and I think quite rightly so.
So let's just be absolutely clear. Yesterday, the Prime Minister said that this man's alleged comments were racist and wrong. And you say if this same man wanted to give another £10 million today to the Conservative Party, you'd take the money?
Yes, that's how I understand the situation, yes.
And I think at this moment now, the Prime Minister, in Prime Minister's Questions, needs to condemn Hester or the content of what Hester is allegedly supposed to have said, absolutely and unequivocally. If Hester said this, then the money needs to be returned. Hester must be beyond the pale. I think, on the principle of Caesar's wife, Hester is beyond the pale already. But I know there's a huge movement in social media saying you're innocent until proven guilty. I don't believe that's the issue, and I think people are very keen to point to the legal process when it suits them, to hide behind the legal process. There's a difference between the legal process and whether or not this is somebody you want to have in your front room. Is this someone you want to have on your television screens? Is this someone you want to be funding the political party that you're going to vote for? Is this somebody that you want to sit down with and have a cup of tea with? This person may not be a criminal, or they may not have done anything criminal, but are they an icon of respectability? What clings to them? And that, in the end, is the issue surrounding Caesar's wife. And Caesar's wife did significantly less than Frank Hester is supposed to have done. I think there is no question the Conservative Party and all political parties in Britain need to distance themselves from the sort of nonsense that Frank Hester is supposedly peddling. But certainly they need to distance themselves from the racism that is being peddled. Whether Frank Hester said it or not, it doesn't really matter. What matters is the concept. What matters is the concept. And that is the issue which I think people misunderstand. There's an issue, there's something beyond innocent or guilty in law. There's the issue about whether or not you actually want to deal with this person, whether or not you actually want to have tea with this person. And that is the test. It's not a test about whether or not you want to play cricket with them. It's about whether or not you want to invite them into your house, sit them down and have tea. And I can say bluntly, I would have tea with Nadine Dorries. I would have tea with Farage. I would be very cautious about having tea with Frank Hester and anybody who agrees with him. So if Kevin Hollinrake wants to support Frank Hester, given the allegations that are out there, my door would be closed. But my door's open to others. Absolutely. Absolutely. People with the most extraordinary stories. Everyone's worth a second chance. But if the reputation is clinging to somebody, no, close the door.